We go. Moving into our third matchup for tonight, Yeesh, it is going to be Frostie versus Watermeat. I do have a challenger badge next to Frostie, and that is correct, actually. Never mind. Frostie's not one of our debuters. Did join the SCL division pretty late into the season. I want to say week 8. Maybe week 7. Pretty late. So he's only played a couple of competitive matches so far. Watermeat also one of those that also joined the SCL Challenger division late as well. So, but has not lost a match yet so far competitively. So that's pretty huge for Watermeat. One of those players that I kind of feel if they were to have joined SCL maybe a little bit earlier on into the year, then they probably would have positioned themselves pretty high up on the standings. It's going to be pretty tough for Frostie, I think.
Both of these players have a pretty solid amount of games. They're both good players, so I'm excited to see some good play here. I think not having much competitive experience, it can be very easy to tilt. I know for me, my first match I ever played against Ponu, I think I accidentally fake BB'd 4 times in a row or something ridiculous and just tilted my way downhill from there. But once you've done that though, then it can be very you've learned and you know not how to tilt as much. So I think keeping their composure, playing consistent, solid SpyParty is gonna decide the winner of this match.
Yeah, no, I agree as well. Let's get on to it. Back over towards the ballroom for game 1 of this series. It is going to be Frostie spying first as as Till. We'll have to see what his plan is for this game, or their plan. Not to assume. Let's kick things off with Till on ballroom. Frostie spying in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Instantly taking control. I do like taking control almost instantly because it does give you a chance to get those time of chaos bugs, which can be very valuable in the early game. Only having to do 3 of 7 instead of 4 of 8 is a massive lead.
I do believe Frostie is from Australia. I have put the Aussie flag there. I remember when I met Frostie, I do believe they pinged me saying, another Aussie, nice to see you. Yep, that's right. Cool. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Hopefully not. But Frostie steps over towards the green bookshelf here, picks up a fingerprint, very quickly going to pop that back into place. Now we can look to potentially get another from the briefcase or just go for a float.
That was a very interesting situation there. I think Frostie was going for the briefcase. Then somebody else took it, but did not choose to redirect. So Watermeat looks like he's on top of this. Gets that highlight for not redirecting. There's no way he would have gone to that green bookcase with 2 people already there. So maybe a really nice catch by Watermeat. It might even seal up this game already.
Yeah, no, we'll have to see how Watermeat does want to apply suspicion. In chat that they believe the highlight was for fingerprint alone. We'll have to see how that does influence future sniping decisions. So far, the party hasn't really been that accommodating for Frostie. No one's really been to statues. There's only one other person highlighted. I mean, thankfully for us, that is our seduction target. We are going to pick up a second fingerprint here, and also on a second bookshelf, which could be a little bit daunting, like you mentioned earlier on in the broadcast. You know, going to 2 different bookshelves and not microfilming.
And it looks like the other highlights are for fingerprint only. Fingerprint only is a very interesting strategy that I'm really excited about. I've tested a little bit myself, trying to maybe tech in for some opponents that really want to rush flirt against me. And it can be really risky. That bug turns out, I think he's suspicious. This sniper laser makes it look like he's camping this microphone really hard, but I don't think he saw the bug.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Saying, though,
that's obviously a wrong arm bug with the book in your left hand, and you would have walked past the ambassador on your left. Seeing that bug is really difficult.
Back to what I was saying, though, with fingerprint. Highlighting only for fingerprint can get really out of hand sometimes, especially since there's going to be difficult prints everywhere. Highlighting for both for hard print, for real prints, hard prints, it can be really difficult.
Wow, look at this. We've got bug, we've got fingerprint. Our seduce is very close done, and we get a purloin from the window ledge as well. Frostie's going hard on the hardtail missions. looking to try and win this one with a Seduce, timing it with the Purloin as well to make sure that every piece of information Watermeat has comes at the same time. Watermeat, though, very happy with the information they have. Will take the shot with due diligence. Going to take that one out over Frostie. I mean, let's go back towards that bug. We can see it from the spy cam. It looks pretty delicious. The wrong arm bug. It does require a bit of pathing to execute, so that you can start the bug whilst your right arm here is closer to the ambassador than your left arm. It means that you stick your arm out in the wrong direction. Only issue is that it happened a little bit too soon. There was a bit of time for Watermeat to see that on his sniper cam. Potentially did get a good eye on that. Let's see. Did he see the Purloin as well? I actually don't think he did.
Looks like he was... Yeah, I don't think so. I think he just shot him for the talk. But for the bug, Watermeat was rotating. I think he was trying to get a better glimpse of it, but ended up blocking himself. So Frostie getting away with that, nice and clean. I think if Watermeat was more on the right side, it would have been much more obvious.
Wow. Okay. So if what Meat's saying is true, flirt, fingerprint, and microfilm credited. But there was no contact, and definitely didn't see the Purloin as far as this sniper cam is concerned. So that's a pretty crazy shot. Definitely the kind of shots that I think you need to be making on the competitive level. Maybe you did see the fade? I don't think you do. No, not at all. So wow, really just a very bold shot, but a correct one. And like you mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, can come back to haunt you when you visit two different bookshelf pads but don't microfilm. Sometimes you just get credited with it either way. And that's where some troubles do arise, especially in that game. Was quite possibly the killer for Frostie. Watermeat going to be spying now as Irish on the ballroom. Let's kick it off. 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Yeah, so far from watching these 2 matches that have been played so far, 3 matches I should say, 2.5. It looks like the spy is losing a lot when they get highlighted immediately. So I think we'll probably see that similar trend happening. If the spy can avoid getting highlighted, they'll probably win.
How about this? A green Purloin right off the bat. And it is going to be Cowboy who takes it. We're zoomed in. I don't know if we saw the guest list was gone. It doesn't seem like we have a good indication that it has been seen just yet.
Don't believe so. I don't think it's even been noticed. And this is going to be huge. We have a book in hand. This is not going to look suspicious at all unless there's no way we get credited here with any kind of Purloin.
Being stared down right now for the bug. Toby kind of brings the tray into full view. And now for Frostie, he knows that the guest list has been purloined and it has to try and figure out how that could have happened in the last couple seconds or so. Watermeat, blue book in hand, Purloin complete, flirt done up to 66%. Going to be holding on to this blue book, really just trying to minimize any suspicion on themselves. Actually, we're transferring in the conversation. I love it. Very risky play.
This is great. The pillar blocks you perfectly here if the sniper is looking at you straight on. So I really do like this decision. Especially, I think he might have noticed that the book was marked. So this is a great decision trying to return a marked book. Maybe we even get Lilith here for returning a book.
Very, very...
Great play. Clean play right now from Watermeat. Really big risk with the Purloin, but so far we're up in a huge way. Seduce, microphone contact looks like the game plan.
Wow, look at that. Seduce is now done, like you mentioned. Yeah, very likely that the microfilm action test transfer could be the way we finish this. We have a couple options available to us, Watermeat. He can either go to statues and inspect 3 times to complete a mission, or we can just go for the contact. Currently eyeing up our options. Looks like we may step over towards the statues for a triple inspect and go silent. Although the ambassador is very buggable. Will we go for it? No, holding off. Let's see if Frostie was comfortable with the path Watermeat took. Worst case scenario is if you take a path near the ambassador, don't bug, but still get credited with it. Action film, microfilm transfer, white test. Frostie rotating around the pillars, doesn't see it.
Yeah, the head was slightly visible, but that's going to be tough to see. And now it all comes down to one mission. Frostie's really far behind with 50 seconds. Hopefully the DA cooperates with us so that Watermeat can get this BP off.
This is such a clean game so far from Watermeat. Looks like we are going to be pathing towards the statues, but it's a side statue. Are we going to swap to finish this game? Oh my gosh, we are.
I think so.
Holy
Wow,
moly.
that's
3 hardtails.
I
Frosty's not
I like.
rotating.
And he shoots a civilian. That's excellent timing, but I really like this decision. If you think that middle statues will kill you, then a side statue swap might just catch the sniper off guard. So really strong play from Watermeat there. Would have ideally liked to be B, but took an opportunity that he thought was available. Good timing though by Frosty taking the shot there.
Yeah, I do wonder what exactly the shot came off for. Salmon Danger had just entered a conversation that the participants had stopped talking in due to the fact that one of them took a drink. So it wasn't really like a very quick flirt, but either way, clearly suspicious of the fact Salmon Danger could be done with missions, takes a shot. Great timing, like you mentioned, just unfortunately a wrong shot. Watermeat goes up 2-0 in this series. Frosty back on the spy roll as Duke here on the courtyard. We'll have to see what they can do on courtyard, a map that is very popular here with these challenger competitors in the Summer Cup. Obviously, it's a predetermined map, a compulsory map that you have to play. We'll have to see how it does influence this series. Counting us down, 3, 2, 1, playing it.
One thing I'm excited to see is how highlights will go. We saw highlights for Fingerprint on the previous map from
Oh,
both
wow.
players, actually. Both players highlight for Fingerprint. And now it looks like highlighting for statues. So mixing up a highlight strategy, I think, could be very interesting.
Oh,
Playing
my
one way
goodness.
on Ballroom, playing a different way on Courtyard. This time at those pretty huge.
Yeah, huge time ad, and I know Watermeat likes to look for them. But not only that, Watermeat does have some etiquette sniping in his playbook, and just noticed Frosty go to statues to get a flirt, but didn't sip his drink whatsoever. Walked away with a drink from statues. That could be a pretty big deal for Frosty. We'll have to see if Watermeat keeps that in their memory. Definitely got highlight for that one reason alone. Now stepping back into the conversation with our seduction target, looking for our second flirt, but unfortunately it's a red test, meaning that Alice is going to exit the conversation and we won't get any progress.
Alice was a highlight, and she did break animation. So if Watermeat does watch etiquette closely,
Banana bread.
maybe Alice looks suspicious here.
Wow, well, never mind.
Ooh, gets
She
low lit though, unfortunately.
loaded it for the contact. 2 low lights taken, 3 by Watermeat. Frosty now going to exit the conversation. We're looking for join back up with Alice and get our flirt on. Still at 34%, remember, due to the fact that we did hit a red test, but a green test kind of makes back up for it. Watermeat seems to be pretty suspicious. This sniper camera, yeah, and the angle. Shot comes through. I think it comes all back down to that one move back at the beginning of the game. Potentially the green time ad was noticed by Watermeat, but the thing that really caught my eye was Frosty stepping into the statues, flirting with drink in hand, and then stepping away. And I think that from what I know of Watermeat, that's something that they're not going to like.
Tough. Frosty's just been highlight early both times for very small things. Fingerprint and then an etiquette mistake. So really tough. I don't think Frosty's playing too badly at all. Just a sort of unlucky breaks and just not playing as perfect as he needs to be beating Watermeat.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a tough one. Watermeat's no snooze, that's for sure. Now spying here on Cowboy. My scoreboard was typed in as 33-0 up. That's not quite correct. 3 up in this series, but obviously so much room for Frosty to mount a comeback. And it all starts here. A sniper round, definitely the best round to get your first point on the board. Let's see what Frosty can do on courtyard in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
And that's how games go sometimes. Yep.
That was
That's one way to get a point on the board.
that is definitely one way. Notices the bug immediately from Watermeat and takes a shot. Wow, confidence. If that doesn't do it for you, I don't know what does. Let's swiftly move on to library and see how the action does unfold. Frosty going to be spying as Till here, right next to the ambassador, has been taking over AI very quickly. I wonder if this is another instant bug. I guess we find out in
Especially
3.
after that game, the bug didn't even take, and the instant bug, and now here, who knows? Who knows?
All right, well, let's find out. 3, 2, 1, playing it. Oh, takes over control, but unfortunately, Ambassador paths away from us, so we're not going to get debated into an instant bug.
Ooh, we're in a really good spot to bug here. If the ambassador comes our way, we can do a walking bug side by side, or maybe reverse if the ambassador comes around the opposite way. Let's see if Frosty takes it. Amba goes away from us. This is still a really good spot to get bug off though. So let's see what Frosty does.
Oh, wow. Good opportunity to purloin, but Frosty decides to hold against it. Did notice that Watermeat was tilting to see who was behind the pillar. Noticed Frosty back there as Till. So has the presence of mind to be checking these things on the library. Of course, there are some blind spots you have to keep in mind. Seduction Target steps back into the conversation on the opposite side, but it does mean that we get a pretty quick second flirt off. And hitting the green test definitely helps out. 79% definitely in range for that 3 flirt.
I like this decision by Frosty to play slow and just not get highlight. We've lost both games so far because we got highlight early on and then we got tracked. Even though we played a really good spy game, both times it's just been early suspicion leading into a spy shot. So I think I like idling here for like maybe the first 2 minutes and then starting to get some mission progress done.
Whew. Just for half a second, Frosty steps onto the blue bookshelf pad when Alice was also there, but thankfully library, the kind of map where you get away with those kind of moments temporarily. Frosty with the blue book in hand. Watermeat marks it blue as well, so may make direct transfers a little bit more difficult, but Frosty stepped into a position where an action test microfilm is very, very much hard to see, and wow, look at that. Instantly does go for the action test microfilm, removing it from the book. It doesn't look like Watermeat has seen whatsoever that Alice is hiding behind that pillar. Till, meaning that Frosty returning the blue book to its spot will get bonus points for doing so, and gets away with 1/2 of a microfilm.
It looks like we might even be able to pick up a flirt and go to the bookcase. No, we choose against it. Maybe a bug opportunity. This amp is in a good spot.
Oh yeah, look at that. Wrong arm bug.
There we go.
Behind the pillar. Was not seen.
The arm snapback was apparent because New Art characters bugs suck.
Yeah, especially Tills.
Checker, but
Tills is the worst.
Not noticed. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I absolutely despise Till's walking bug. I think it's the worst in the game, and anyone who misses it, well, shame. It's your own fault. Sorry, Watermeat. But wow, Purloin Green after the contact, and now we're stepping into statues. Now we're going to see the guest list is gone. How much does Watermeat apply suspicion for being at statues after that happens? We're getting very close to mission completion here. 3 inspects and a flirt. That's all we need. We don't even have to do that microfilm that we have in our pocket. We can just flirt for the finish. Very good pacing from Frosty, and oh, very good timing, really, from Watermeat. Takes a shot. It is incorrect onto to Alice, but this game was almost done.
Right. I don't know about inspects there. Inspects is really scary, especially since the sniper is going to be desperate after that purloin. Maybe he might just shoot the person at the center statues. I would have preferred going to the books and then microfilming once you know that the sniper has seen the purloin, because he will be trying to get low lights and then microfilm is free and seduce there. So not my favorite play at the end there, but otherwise I think Frosty played excellently. Not getting highlight early on meant that he wasn't getting tracked from the very start of the game.
Yeah, no, that's definitely for sure. And when you have 6 highlights, it kind of becomes a bit of a sea of mess. That bug was 100% on screen. Really unfortunate that Watermeat didn't pick up on it, because that could have been the game coming back for them. This shot, I wonder what it was for from onto Alice. Maybe just suspected that the purloin... Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Ambassador walks right past Alice, and you don't really have vision on whether or not a bug happens to you. You feel purloin's done, contact's done, Alice has been to statues, I have to shoot, just on the off chance that the bug did connect from Alice there. Really unfortunate from Watermeat, and of course on Library, a map where shenanigans like that happen more so than not. Really huge comeback potential for Frosty, now stepping onto the sniper role. It is Watermeat spying here on Library as general. Let's see how this one does play out in just a second, if I can get my sounds going again. In 3, 2, 1, playing it.
This is the real test for snipers. It's very easy to get overwhelmed. Frosty's really got to prove himself right here. But going for inspects right away, I think this is the going for these getting highlight early just has been hurting these players a lot. So let's see if Frosty highlights for this.
A green swap right off the bat as well. Frosty watching Watermeat exit the statue pad there. But no highlights so far, but does get a good view of the statue. Knows that it is a falcon, a Maltese falcon. Now, Mr. A is going to step over to the statue. Frosty's going to pop a highlight. And oh, there's the swap so quick from falcon to head. Frosty, I think, saw it. Maybe not. We're marking books potentially there. Now we definitely see the statue swapped. But do we remember what the statue was to begin with?
Yeah, I'm very curious. He highlights for this middle statue, but did not highlight general. So I don't even know if he's given general credit for this swap. He might have just forgotten since he did not even highlight general at all.
Yeah, no, that's very true. Watching for bug from the AI, pathing next to our ambassador. Worried that it could happen, but you know, we can't stare down the ambassador forever, especially when she's in this golden zone where ambassador's personal space hasn't been violated, so she can stand here as long as she wants to. Thankfully for Frosty, she will make a move, make her life a little bit easier. Really good mission progress from Watermeat. 2 inspects out of 3, a single flirt, and there it is. The shot comes through. So clearly on top of the fact that the statue had been swapped, but didn't ever credit General for being there. Decides that it seems like Walt was the more suspicious character after all.
Yeah, it looks like there that Walt left after a talking animation, which is extremely rare. Not very many AI leave after a talking animation. They'll usually wait for an idle before leaving. They won't usually talk into a leave. They have to get interrupted to do that. So maybe suspicious there. He also quick talked when he entered the conversation. Looks like he was just getting mission progress done, and Frosty was tunneling pretty hard on him. I think if we highlight general there at the start of the game, maybe we have a better chance of narrowing down the swap.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And as you can see here, Walt was talking. AIs can interrupt each other. And you see Alice immediately talks it up, and Walt leaves immediately due to that, which doesn't happen too often. It's a fairly reasonable shot from Frosty, especially considering that the statue was swapped by Walt due to the green action test. But like you mentioned, just that one moment where we highlighted general, then it becomes a 50-50 rather than a wrong shot potentially. So we exit library with Watermeat up 4-2, sitting on match point for this series. Pub, the last map to play here, is going to be Watermeat's sniping first, and for Frosty, very doable comeback into this series to at least secure the tie here in the group stage. Day 1 match, playing as Rocker. Let's see what they can do on Pub. In 3, 2, 1, playing it. Round and round we go. Sometimes puffing throws us in circles there, Yeesh. We do pick up a huge flirt.
Yeah, pathing is, I think, really strong on this map. There's a lot of tight corners that AI don't usually take that I think a lot of snipers could be getting a big edge off of.
Yeah, there's
I don't know how much Watermeat does it, but we'll just have to see.
Tight corners that AIs don't take and tight corners that AIs do take, knowing the difference between the paths can lead to some pretty opportunistic lowlights. Of course, the downside of lowlighting or even highlighting for such things is that all it takes is an opponent of skill enough to be able to play around that they become obsolete. But you have to prove that first as Spy, and that's definitely the way most people play this game. Here we go. Flirt, 85%, stepping over to the bar, potentially looking to pick up a delegate timer. I don't think there's anyone that we could frame by immediately purloining here, so very unlikely that Frosty does so.
I mean, yeah, we have like, about 2 minutes here. Options are open. We're not highlighted early, which is, I think, key again. to being able to beat Watermeat here. I think with some of these beginner players, they're not as great as watching their neutral lights. They like to watch more of their highlights. So I think if we stay neutral it and keep on doing that, I think we'll be really successful.
Gonna be picking up this briefcase.
Do we
Not
get
the
highlight?
worst.
We got highlight for this on Ballroom. Do we get highlight for it now? I think
Doesn't
this
look
might
like
be the
it.
make or break point. Yeah, this is really huge, especially since both statues are now, or the statue is going to be fingerprintable. We have a great opportunity here.
Yeah, absolutely. Really great opportunity here as well. And with a fingerprint up, 85% flirt. Oh, and the guest has been purloined. Wow. Okay, so he delegated as he picked up the briefcase. Holy moly, Frostie, a genius. A genius after my own
That
heart.
was a nice play.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. And so I don't expect Watermeat, who is also watching the same game that I am, potentially saw that either. That's very tricky.
Yeah,
Very tricky from
that is
Frostie.
that's a really tricky play. I like these
Oh, and he gets
unique
low lit as well.
plays. That was really nice. Briefcase, and then as you're about to leave, you delegate. Your hands will flail a little bit, but you're going to be moving instantly, so it's going to be very tricky to catch. I like that play a lot. I tried to do something similar. It didn't work, unfortunately. I was trying to fake ambassador personal space with a delegate. Unfortunately, didn't work, but I really like these creative plays. It looks
So,
like if we just inspect print, both these statues are printable.
yep. With the low light, it's very unlikely that the shot even comes through. 14 seconds left. Oh, we're swapping instead. Holy moly.
Oh,
Fingerprinting.
no.
5 out of 7.
Lose.
This is how we lose. 8 seconds. 4 on the mission win countdown. A low light holding the swap statue, but Watermeat was not looking for it.
My.
Some will say it was BM. I think it was an action.
Frostie.
That was
that was a mistake.
That was 100% a mistake.
How to throw such a great game. Frostie's been playing really good Spy, especially adapting with like just idling for the first minute and a half, not getting highlighted, not getting noticed. I think it's been a really huge. Not getting tracked means that you're going to get away with these hardtails much cleaner. Really good stuff from Frostie.
I love the fact that he goes for the fingerprint even after the swap happened. He's like, you know what, I've done this. It's time to BM Watermeat by doing 5 out of 7. Yeah, when 4 is all you need.
Bug at the end there too, and then get 6 or 7 for more bonus points.
Man, Frostie has shown some great innovative play. That's how I'd put it. From the first game to this last Spy game, the development over the series has been phenomenal from Frostie. I'm really looking forward to seeing more competitive games out of this guy. Let's watch this delegate with the briefcase as well. Picks up the briefcase, and then as he does so, pops the delegate onto the twin as he leaves. And because he leaves pretty much as it happens, you don't even see the torque animation. The stop's pretty good as well. The only thing that if has a chance really of seeing is the fact that a fingerprint happened. Fantastic play from Frostie. A very deserved pub win. Very creative pub win as well. And now for Frostie, all they need to do is snipe Small Man, and they tie up the series against Watermeat. One of the hot challenges coming into this Summer Cup as well. I didn't realize that Frostie was pulling punches like this. What a very fun group Watermeat has found himself in with Frostie. As well as Bit Banding Pig and Bad Player. That's a group of challenger players that you need to keep your eyes on.
This group is definitely, I would say, for the challenges at least, the most challenging.
That is
a lot of great players here. I think at least 2 of these players have 3,000 games, 2,000 games.
Oh yeah,
these are threats, and these Spy games are really impressive. That delegate play reminds me of a play you do with a BB instead of delegate, where you try to fake getting low lit because your briefcasing you could not have banana breaded. So
yeah,
I really like the decision to delegate instead of that. That's a really cool tech I hadn't even thought about.
Absolutely, I love it. Summer Cup brings out some really hot tech, especially from people who are kind of chilling, cooling down after a long and tedious SpyParty competitive league season. And the competitiveness of the Summer Cup is just shown through and through, even in the week 1 matches. Time to round out this series. Frostie looking for a tie. Watermeat looking to try and tie things up with a win here. As Spy as Small Man. Let's see what happens in 3, 2, 1. Playing it. I think as Watermeat, you potentially, if you watch that replay, wow, fair play to this guy. He caught me there. It's hard to not feel slightly threatened though. Now spying, looking for a win. Look at that, picks up an early
Oh, we
highlight.
get highlight for the chase.
Yeah,
Wow, that is huge. I think this is going to be tough for Watermeat to win. That was
one,
such a good catch. The red fort maybe Watermeat a little bit nervous after that huge comeback by Frostie.
impressive stuff. Frostie's showing so much development over this series. Highlight for just flirting and chasing the seduction target into conversation. Here we go. Picking up a delegate from the bar. We have a minute to complete this. At 1 minute 35 seconds, the delegate will expire. Now all we have to do is step into a conversation and send someone to the bar. We'll have to see if this is the case here. Yep, we're going to delegate to a suspected double agent. Watermeat doesn't know that Irish is a suspected double agent. Only the sniper knows this. We have seen this be counterintuitive. Worked out for some people so far in the Summer Cup. I wonder if it will work out for Watermeat. Lots of lowlights available here for Frostie.
The only one real BB. He's the only one.
Holy moly.
Oh no.
Guess this is
dear.
gone. We haven't rotated to see it gone just yet. I wonder when Watermeat will notice it. Frostie even.
I think, yeah, delegating to a cast member can really throw some people off because people aren't just not looking for it. Because why would you basically make yourself, instead of it being a 50-50, now you've just made it 100% you if they're tracking it. But sometimes that can just throw the sniper off if they're not ready for it.
Watermeat steps onto the statue pad here, gulps a drink very slowly and picks up the statue. It's fingerprintable. Looking for the inspect and the fingerprint and then picking up the briefcase to finish the mission. That would be the plan, you would think, from Watermeat. It's a lot of actions. He's one of the only highlights in this game. Look at the sniper laser crawling over onto Small Man.
He's thinking about it so much. And that's, there's no, You can even see as he was inspecting, Frostie was thinking about shooting.
I just love that. Yesterday we saw it from Royal Flush, the brain, the cogs turning in Royal Flush's mind, and the laser cursor kind of indicating that. And you can see here once more. I mean, I'll throw it in slow-mo so you can really just see it happen. The slowly creeping over onto Small Man, constantly thinking, yes, maybe I need to shoot here. But it wasn't until the statue got put down and the briefcase was picked up, we went for the shot. Really unfortunate play, I think, for Watermeat. Potentially, not their fault. They delegated to a cast member, one that they weren't aware was a cast member. The spy doesn't get told who the suspected double agent is. There are obviously ways to work that out, but it's harder on maps with multiple conversation circles such as pub. And man, Frostie, huge highlight to start this game off. Huge comeback to tie this series up 4 apiece. And Group E's just got so exciting.
Absolutely. I love how the start of this set went. It was Frostie getting highlight at the start of the game and then losing, and Watermeat not getting highlight and winning, and turning into Frostie winning games, not getting highlight at all until late in the game, and then Watermeat getting highlight at the start of the game. I think these two players are definitely ones you should keep an eye on. I think these were the best spy games of the night.
Oh, absolutely. Fantastic stuff coming out from these guys. Really, really enjoyed watching this set. We do have one more left to play. This is going to be a fun one.